What up, world? You already know what time it is. Your boy Mac Mills is the host with the most, never need to brag no boast. All we ever did was give a toast to the real folks. I told you I was gonna keep it a trilly. God damn it. I had to deliver for y'all, man, because we ain't out here bullshitting. We giving y'all the real spill, holy feel, and how it goes down in the real world, you know what I'm saying? And the reckoning, the last part, it was a lot of bullshit. A lot of fluff, you know what I'm saying? How could you have people that are testified on the stand and then defense poke holes in their stories and shit like that, and then become an uncredible witness to have them on the DVD crying and carrying on like they they're in a world of hurt. It's kind of like you messing the game up. You messing up the church's money. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I figure if they want to be on some level where they don't give a shit about nobody, cool. I get that. A lot of people are on that level. They got their own shit to worry about, and that's totally fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna make a documentary about somebody, at least have some credible witnesses. You know what I'm saying? At least have some credible witnesses who understand and speak. You know? So I ain't with all the hoorah, hoopla, and all the bullshit. Little my little area, you know what I'm saying? I got my little weights, cinder blocks, because I don't mess with it. I ain't got no real weights right now, but we make it do what it do. Oh, I'm gonna make it do what it do. Over here, I got all my stuff, kind of messy, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make it do what it do. But like I said, there's no way in hell or heaven that you could tell me that these were some credible witnesses. One of the girls said, a Danny D. Kane girl, she said, what she say? She said, I don't know if I got raped, but I don't want to mess it up for the other victims. So did you get raped or didn't you? Because I feel like Puffy ran a train on you. Now you want to holler rape. Not everything is rape. Not everything is right. It is. So at the same time, they're making sense. Sometimes you gotta make sense out of nonsense. So this is what I'm proposing. I want y'all to listen to Dame Dash and what Dame Dash had to say with the whole situation and his sentiments are mine. I mean, if it was really about the victims, you would have put this out way before you realized that Puffy was messing with his baby mom. So, in doing so, it's like a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? You have somebody attached to him. And 50 was dating Misa at a point. So you was starting to mess with the baby mamas at first. Did he beat you at the game, and now you salty? I don't know where they do that at, but they should be doing that around here. You know what I'm saying? Good, you know what I'm saying? Real recognize real and hoes do too, you know? So we gonna listen to what Dame says. and y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Fair use, fair use. Listen, listen. This is one of the academics clips, so I have to use the academics clip for it. You know what I'm saying? But it makes sense. It makes sense. You got sometimes y'all gotta make sense out of nonsense. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Y'all want to come up and y'all got something intelligent to say? Say what's on your mind, players? Listen. Dame Dash breaks it down eloquently. This is him on the talk show. Point of view. POV. Listen.
and was like, yo, we want you to do the interview with this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, you think I would ever make money for y'all tearing another black man down, even if that man is wrong? If I'm a black man and I want to do something, I'm gonna go tear down a white man. I'm not gonna tear down a black man. There's so many injustices that we see other people from other cultures do, but we don't say nothing, and they always send us to tear us down. They go, "Are you serious?" Black man, for a white man. That's never happened. And also another thing, just on my moral code for me, did that to my girl and I felt like I violated, I gotta wear that, or I gotta handle that different. But I'm not making a documentary. I'm gonna go deal with it. But that's just how other people deal with things, and that's how I deal with things. So the question you asked me was why I said that? Because I never in my life would have thought that 50 Cent would make a documentary about another man from our culture, just because it seems that the dude might tamper with his woman. And that's not what but I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna speak too much on that other man 50. The only reason why I said something about it because he talks about me. So that's the only reason why I said something about it. And to me, he's easy work. But the thing about it is, you don't have to deal with this, right? I'm a culture saver. I'm out here fighting for us every day. Every time I argue with somebody, it's not for me, it's for y'all. Because I'm good. I'm always trying to open the doors and make sure that everyone in our culture understands the path. They're usually misled to think they're weaker than they are. And I'm the guy that's going to show you that you do not have to be scared of them. You can do it on your own, and you do not have to do it for them. And they always send us to tear us down. And this might be a little strong and funny. We're not jacking that, and I don't think anybody should, because morally, that is not where we want to go. And another thing I didn't like about the movie, to say the least, was a lot of it been hearsay. So I've been accused of a lot of things I haven't done. And if there's always Dame got accused in that way for sexual assault too. You have to go on a deposition. So I think I'm in the best position right now because you know if you sue me, you ain't getting a motherfucking thing because I ain't got it. He did file for bankruptcy, so I think any litigations that would come after him during this time, they kind of get almost referred to the bankruptcy judge or the arbitrator. And that person is usually going to say, hey, listen, get in line, even if you do win. So they usually have like a conversation and say, are you wasting the time of court if there is no punitive damage that monetarily could legally be imposed if he's been accepted under chapter 7 or chapter 11 bankruptcy. I think those are two, right? 7 and 11. Yeah. So, but what do y'all think about his thoughts on the documentary and even 50 doing it? You know, when he starts off by saying, it reminds me of when, reminds me of the Cam 60 Minutes interview, where it's like, yo, a serial killer lived next to you. Cameron, when he said, yo, this. On 60 Minutes. The type of business I'm in, it would definitely hurt my business. And the way that I was raised, I just don't do that. I was raised differently, not to tell. A lot of people, though, hearing that are going to say that that's not a good thing.
Act. This is a false equivalency act. You shouldn't be saying that it's the same thing as a serial killer living next door.
Fun motherfucker, bro. Like, yo, he was always cracking jokes up to people.
Who did he kill?
Records kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Who's a bunch of people that he killed? Come on now.
Every time my album comes out,
yeah, people died at his
on a good day,
his party, his tournament.
So basically, the people who would say
Biggie and Park died.
I don't think those are the same people that buy my album. The people that buy my music.
But there's no evidence that he killed Biggie and Park.
It's about business, but it's still also
further than that story about that $1 million,
he wasn't,
which could be conjured up years later on some bullshit.
This guy did that. It's kind of
And
like
if Keefe D really felt that way,
the person who did something to you, but it's kind of policing your own community. If there is a serial killer living next door to you, though, and you know that person is, killing people, would you be a snitch if you called police and told them? If I knew the serial killer was,
why would he rat on himself
I wouldn't call it
and the people around him.
but I'll probably move.
Because they gave him immunity
I don't need to be looking around.
for being a dumb motherfucking hustler.
Put the signs up like, hey, the serial
So
killer.
the only real hustler here is Diddy.
I don't know why it's funny to me, but like Dave's answer reminds me of that, where he's like, "Yo, I didn't think he would go and say something." To tear a black man down, but I'm saying, like moral codes and like coming from where like a street ethic. I honestly didn't think that he would ever do that. Why though? His thought was, you go handle it yourself. And my whole thing is, I think Dave is capping. What I mean, capping. So I get the snitching angle where you're like, yo, well, first of all, I don't get it, to be honest, because the whole serial killer thing is like kind of stupid. Why are you protecting? The only point with 50 that I agree with is, if someone says, 50, you have been accused of certain stuff, maybe not criminally proven to have done certain stuff, but you've been accused. It's kind of offsetting to anyone that you have similar accusations to the person you're making a documentary on, and you're not coming with proven fact. You're coming with innuendo, and you're coming with narratives, and you're coming with hearsay. Someone could do the same to you.
Over there.
Now, I that room. It's wrong.
Yeah. Take off the light. Go to bed.
That was factually based on, I don't know. Let's say I don't mind 50 doing document. I think where it comes is a glass house theory, where it says you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And shit, 50 has a song. You shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Come on. You
and if you got a glass door, you should watch your mouth, because I'll break your face.
Watch your mouth.
Have your little ass running into the jakes.
I agree with that theory.
Go against me, dog. You're making no mistake.
That theory. Because if you've been accused of similar things, but not proven, or there's no hard evidence of certain stuff, why would you then use circumstantial evidence and hearsay to bury someone else when you're basically announcing to the world it's cool if people use the same to bury you? Now, maybe you're more liked and people won't do the same to you, but why would you do it to someone else? You become a flagrant hypocrite. And that's my only issue when it comes to 50, right? Like, imagine if, like,
I agree, yeah.
Imagine if someone
you're making sense there.
Things and accusations of Diddy. Not Diddy, I mean 50. Daphne Joy came out and said 50 R-worded her. There's also police reports of an alleged beating or a fight. Imagine if they then painted that in a narrative, in a brush of, oh, 50 was just in love but jealous, but he's going through roid rage, and he was super jealous and aggressive, and he beat her up, blah, 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 blah. Now, by the way, make it something. But they created a documentary and got people to kind of give support and evidence to drum up that narrative. I think you would say that would be foul. I don't think you would be like, oh, that's fair game. And I think that's where my only contention goes. Because if you have similar things, you would want somebody to drum up false narratives. Now, here's the thing. If the things aren't hearsay, or this is like definitive facts or whatever the case is, I got no problem with 50 stuff, clearly. But that's the only problem I could ever have with it. He's mentioning some other shit, like some street shit, like, yo, if you're a street dude, you shouldn't do this. I'm like, I don't know if that's my moral barometer. My moral barometer isn't, if you're a street dude, you shouldn't do a documentary on somebody who's, you know, accused of allegedly beating a woman.
That's not what he's saying. Act.
Allegedly,
You
you
goofy.
violated his big mother in front of his kid. But so yeah, but that's not how we deal with things from where we're from. That's just that's how it goes. I know y'all girls, but I'm not answering that. But I'm saying, so again, you may not understand like a moral conduct for a grown ass man from where I'm from and where I thought he was from. There's just certain things, and like it's not for us to tear somebody down. So, for example, if I'm a criminal and I see somebody doing a crime, I'm not telling. If it might. Now, I hate this connotation, and respectfully, I've always said this. And again, I get it. I'm not a street dude, so like you got to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But y'all street dudes, please exit stage left and get all the way the fuck out of here when it comes to issues that have to do with domestic violence. We don't care about your street rules. And also, if you're a man, you should listen when it comes to domestic violence, whether it's being inflicted upon a woman you know, a man you know, your girl, or not, well, obviously, I guess it's your girl, I guess, but like a woman, period, or even you. If your girl is trying to fucking stab you or shoot you, and you fucking had to, you know, hit her with a fucking Jake Paul overhand or an RKO or some shit, and the police show up and it says, well, why the fuck did you knock out the woman? It's a domestic situation. You should be able to tell the cops, yo, she tried to shoot me. She tried to stab me. I tried to defend myself. That's it. This idea that street codes police
What?
domestic violence is
I be saying the most wayward, outlandish shit.
which he wasn't convicted of, was racketeering, which included a lot of like sex trafficking stuff, and but he wasn't convicted of. What we do know, what he was convicted of, is prostitution, and what we do know, I think we can safely say, is that he was a violent domestic abuser. So this idea that we keep talking about street shit when it comes to domestic violence, I think it's weird. If your man is beating you, I'm going. Let me say this. I've called the police. Well, obviously nobody has any expectations of me being a street dude, but I've called the police on a woman. So I can't be arrested. I can't even touch her. So I'm gonna call the police that they are, not to arrest her. I'm calling the police that they could play the middleman. Okay, hey, could you tell her to calm down? Could you tell her to stop throwing things at me? Yeah, of course you should. That has nothing to do with the streets. I get it, maybe.
Act, we don't go through your goofiness.
If you're any man,
I be talking like people go through that every day. Women just don't be throwing shit at real niggas.
That might be a violation to a kid, then
I be on some bullshit. I be calling the police. There's somebody shut.
Now, if you want to go handle it, you
To
could.
do
You
to
should
be
alert the
immediate.
authorities. Here's the thing. All
You
right,
call the police, they taking somebody.
molested a kid down the road. You wouldn't call the cops. You would just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go handle it." What happens if you go try to handle it and the neighbor is is either tougher than you or gangster than you, so he beat your ass or he kill you? So we have to look for vigilante justice for things that are clearly wrong and things that are just nobody fucks with. What are you talking about? But domestic issues are not street issues, if you ask me. So for me, I'm not going to do that because that platform is not black owned. I'm never going to tear a black man down for a white man ever in my life. Also, I know Puff. Right?
Exactly. Whatever Act was saying, that dumb shit Act was saying wasn't making sense. Listen to it, intelligent thought.
To deliver that. Let them do it. So probably another person, I would say, go ahead, do that. Maybe someone from, so like example, TMZ called me and was like, yo, we want you to do the interview and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, you think I would ever make money for y'all tearing another black man down, even if that man is wrong? If I'm a black man and I want to do something, I'm gonna go tear down a white man. I'm not gonna tear down a black man. There's so many injustices that we see other people from other cultures do, but we don't say nothing, and they always send us to tear us down. They go, "Are you serious? I would never go to a black man tear down another black man for a white man. That's never happened. And also another thing, just on my moral code, for me to do that to my girl, and I felt like I'm violated, I gotta wear that or I gotta handle that different. But I'm not making a documentary. I'm gonna go deal with it. But that's just how other people deal with things, and that's how I deal with things. So the question you asked me was why I said that? Because I never in my life would have thought that 50 Cent would make a documentary about another man from my culture just because it seems that the dude might tamper with his woman.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of split from Dane with that thing, and I'm like, yo, 50 wasn't the best candidate to make the video because clearly he has other things he's upset about and probably would influence how this document is going to turn out. But I'm not agreeing with Dane that says if you feel like that, you can go crash out. No.
And that's not what I'm not. But let me say this. I ain't gonna speak too much on that other man 50. The only reason why I said something about it because he talks about me. So that's the only reason why I said something about it. And to me, he's easy work. But the thing about it is, you don't have to deal with this, right? I'm a culture saver.
They didn't say go crash out.
Every time I argue with somebody, it's not
I have no clue.
because I'm good. I'm always trying to open the doors.
There's always more than one way to skin a cat.
They're usually misled to think they're weaker than they are. And I'm the guy that's going to show you that you do not have to be scared of them. You can do it on your own, and you do not have to do it for them. And they always send us to tear us down. And discussing might be a little strong and funny. We're not jacking that, and I don't think anybody should, because morally, that is not where we want to go. And another thing I didn't like about the movie, to say the least, was a lot of it could have been hearsay. So I've been accused of a lot of things I haven't done. And there's always,
Fact.
debated in that way. But it is hunt a black man with money season out there. Trust me on that. It's best in the people or else you're a target. So I think I'm in the best position right now because if you sue me, you ain't getting a motherfucking thing because I ain't got it.
Okay, and this is where we kind of go back to the documentary. Obviously it's definitely a chess move, but also that's 50, taking a shot at Diddy, right? Uh Torre, he has came out with some commentary and he's kind of like, you know, more more than obviously like some more than obviously like
So y'all see what it is. It's bullshit. They ain't writing exact.
more, more than obviously like
So y'all see what it is. It's bullshit. They ain't writing exact.
more, more than obviously like
So y'all see what it is. Bullshit. They ain't writing exact. What's going on here now? My bad, y'all. I'm trying to mess my live up. What's going on here now? Well, we gonna do what it do. So again, everybody what they're doing, what they're saying. My thing is just the timing of it all. Everybody that messed up in the court, they coming back around two in this uh, smear campaign type thing, you know. I ain't with it, man, because at the end of the day, man, if a man went through court, it did what it did. He got 5 years. He beat the RICO. So you can't say he used his businesses as a criminal enterprise because it wasn't true. So what does that tell y'all? It's a lot of fluff. It's a lot of innuendo. A lot of we should believe it because it's the narrative that's being pushed. They had two jurors that they interviewed, one of which didn't know nothing about rap. The other that listened to hip hop and everything like that. And she was a part of that music, that era. So how can people say she was a fan of Diddy? So that's she was starstruck. It's still, you know, a jury of 12 of your peers. You know? And if they found the man not guilty of certain things, guilty of prostitution, no domestic violence, something like that. Real court cases will tell you, man. Somebody's lying somewhere. So get y'all story straight. It's all about trying to get the right perspective. Don't always fall for whatever you see in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Always look at all sides of the spectrum. And that's what they do. They take all sides of the argument and they try to flip it. Don't let them do that. See, read between the lines and the minds. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Matt Mizzle. You know my slogan: keep it real in the field. Forget how they feel. Peace. Before y'all go out there and do something stupid, ask yourself, what will Mac do? Because all I do is sit back, relax, smoke packs, kickbacks. Well, yeah, count stacks. I gotta get my money up, man. It's Christmas. But you know, kids are good. As long as family's good, I'll be straight. I'm gonna come back to y'all with another one, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my shit, dog. Cause I'll be kicking the real. Y'all know it. Y'all know I give y'all the realest shit in the tube right now. But let them tell it. It is what it is. Peace.